Hello and welcome, gamer. I hope you're doing okay today. Or if not, that things get better for you soon. I'm alright. My first day at my new job tomorrow, so. But I'm not nervous or anything. I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I'm excited for more Final Fantasy. So, I'm gonna switch over to my live screen. I was just admiring how beautiful Tuashe is. This outfit looks so good on her. I love it. Yeah. And I have a little GG minion. Just to have our lucky little friend with us. Whee! So yeah. Oh yeah, it does. Color coordination. The reason I didn't start in New Game Plus is that that short song loop is still on. I'm going to deal with it for 3 more missions. I don't understand why they made it such a short loop. I think it's only like a minute. But yeah, let's talk to Urianger. Oh, Tuashe, be assured that I am fine. I am full glad to see them too after so very long. Gladder still that I was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, 'twould have been far harder had I faced them alone. Ahem. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Loporits. Not disposed to rest on their laurels. Oh boy, the yelling is already starting. Several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Okay, guys. Intense music for carrying boxes. ASMR. Hi, Alize. Tuashe, what are you doing out here? No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes. But it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Blah blah. Let's skadoople. let's ignore that. Yay, fate complete. Back off, beast. Or just run, run, run. Riveting stuff, I know. Ooh, what are you doodling? Yeah. Boing, 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 boing. Oh yeah? I always love your doodles. They're very good. Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Ha! Then I suppose I have Thancred to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with a final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once. Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Theo Polden is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. Yeah, that's Alba, assigned week by Alizé. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We brought samples from Charlian Hamlet, Series 110. The crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I had expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment, you are Fortuno's children, are you not? Alphino and Alizé, at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it? Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studio. I remember when you were yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. It is good to see you again, wielding your father's newlets, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that, in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happens to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Wait right there. You will find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alize. I'm certain they will be back soon enough. What is... It's right here, bro. You could have walked that yourself. Lazy ass. Are you not one of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the ether burner. Theobaldin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. This exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlian has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. What is the opposite of character assassination? Because I feel like they're really pushing that for Chanot here. Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only need to be delivered to elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment. We return, with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons. You will note. You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and... That's quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we'd ask to hear, to reiterate. Of course, of course. I've known your father for so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Leveilleur name garners such respect in Charlian is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nimcraft's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. 'Tis why Nimcraft's pronouncement renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, aye. Archon Louisois looked not to Nimcraft's words, but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to its doom. Yeah, I like that. Character doctoring. Absolutely. Because it's just so bizarre to me. Like, if he had just been, like, when we met him, if he had not actually disowned them and had just said, like, you're stupid, don't bother coming back home, or something like that. Or just stay away, don't interfere. Or, like, you're coming home with me now. That would have been already, like, it would have been shitty, but it wouldn't have been as bad as what he actually did. So I would have been more, like, poised to be like, okay, we'll give him another chance. But I feel like they're trying to backpedal so fucking hard. It's not even funny. There will ever be conflict and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louisoix lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fourcheneau could not reconcile Louisoix's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fourcheneau agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fourcheneau is a cranky old goat, but so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day. That is not an exaggeration in the slightest. And why fucking disown them? You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. A funny way of showing it, buddy. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. Yeah. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me in too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Hail, you three. Waha! Graha, surely Kakol hasn't driven you out of the forge already? For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is. What about you, Dwache? Can you spare the time? Perfect. This shouldn't take long. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Coco wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Kakol's forge to burn hotter. He has sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled into his furnaces. The flow of fire-aspected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part, men. We'll see you in Charlian Hamlet once the Adamantide arrives, if not before. This way, then. Veronica, shield me from the music. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water-aspected ether will issue from the vent at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Wait here if you would. Monk time! Yes! Monk time go new! Woohoo! Oh, I know, right? It wasn't actually that bad at first, but eventually I was just like... So I was picking like higher level gear and I was like, should I get... I only had enough for one, so I was like, should I get one for my healers or should I get one for my monk? And then I was like, man, I better get it for my monk because I'm not gonna play my healers off stream. And then I was like, oh, okay, there's a problem here. So, yeah. Did everything go smoothly out here? I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Kakol will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Elpis. As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Alag, of the Empire's twilight years in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Allagan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Alag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its famous technologist, Amon. Did he remember his life as Hermes? I believe he had his own reasons. There's no evidence to suggest he retained memories of his former life. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls like minds have a personality, so to speak? A natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Alec that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zonde. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zonde's return, Amon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zonde been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with a new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kakol is getting on? Oh man. Let's see if I can cry 3 streams in a row. We can set the record. Thank you, I will do my best. Well, I watched all of like Exandria Unlimited Calamity in 2 days, so that was just pretty much 2 days of only watching that. And you know, when it was done, I like had forgotten how to exist. I was just like, oh man, what do I do now? What did I do before I was watching this? Oh man, absolutely. Phew! I can feel those flames are blazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha, but there's not much left for you lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster. Ah, I do trust you to deliver on your promise, I do, only... I hate waiting! I want that adamantite and I want it now! We share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting's about unbearable. The sitting about is unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Get you gone. I've mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses of your time, however. I will join you in Charlie and Hamlet anon. Let's go, stop wasting my time. The busy quests. Busy work quests, rather. You wait here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later. Sure. Give me a voiced cutscene so I can eat some chips. I think this one is voiced.
All set, I take it?
We finished what we could, delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals, trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loporrits, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Cryo. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
I'll tell you right now, it's not.
Surely, these can't all be.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Can you guys just kiss already?
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamon shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. I played a vital role in keeping a lookout whilst our expeditionary forces secured the adamantite.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hancock and Saraban.
We come bearing relics both sacred and Allagan, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Rayson Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements. Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause. Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onakoru, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally or die trying.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time. Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture. When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending. When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also had the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Mommy?
Mother!
Amelians.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, then? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryle after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlotte. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless, undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters, though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guildship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Yay!
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon? And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
See it! You brought the team.
It's the reunion tour, baby.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship. Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius.
Great.
He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter. What he sent is an Allegan relic Valen's used in his weapons experiments. There's a fair bit of refined adamantite in it, too.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryle's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat-Han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ajdaya's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Chrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, gave his assent. Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
I love you. I love you. With all
Look
my
at me,
heart.
this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent. Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Say yes, bitch.
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you.
Come on, man.
I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family.
That's what they're trying to do the entire time, you stupid. He loves them.
You
Shut
grasped
up.
my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. 'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisoix openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship.
Come on, man.
I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Nice Holidays quote.
Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Amelians.
His only redeeming quality is that he's a wife guy, that's it. That's the only thing I like about that.
Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well.
Well, at least he admits he fucked up, okay? Another 1
I assume
point.
that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours, in particular. I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
Minus 10,000 points for
If we finish
disowning
loitering
them.
about the harbour, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You've no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
Yay! Lend us your strength.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Yeah, literally, I think they just fucked up big time with setting up this story, because he would have been 10,000 times more likable if he had not acted like an asshole from the first moment he was on screen. Then I would have bought this, but I know I keep fixating it on that part, but like disowning your children, that is deeply fucked up. And over something as stupid as just like a difference in opinion. Yeah, exactly. And then to turn around and be like, oh no, he actually loves them so much that he had to disown them because he loves them so much. It's like, okay, dude. Okay. I don't buy it. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the Forum's methods for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Most of those who arrived with the Adamantite have offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Totaro. We're off to Aporia then. Yeah, and even had he like said it like in anger or whatever, which I still think would have been fucked. Like, he didn't like turn around and then say, sorry guys, I fucked up big time, I did not mean that, you know? Oh good, you again. Even then still would have been fucked. Dwashai, I have already shown the others inside. You will want to speak with Leanne. She has the lift to the key. She has the key to the lift, rather, and can send you down after me. Why do I need your help, Rocco? Because you know, you can do stupid shit in anger. But that's a little bit beyond. You're with Master Folishino, yes? Just step inside the lift here. Let's go. From here, we proceed to the heart of Labyrinthos, and its most closely guarded secret, Thomazane. It marks the beginning and end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to see the heavens. This way, if you please. Ooh. Oops. I bid you welcome to Thomazane. Direct your attention toward its center to behold the ark over which we have long labored. Cool spaceship. As you can see, 'twas designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. The Aether Burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon enough. I've received word that Kokol and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us time for speaking with Hydaelyn ere they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. I have done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? Been prepared since day one, bucko. Let's go. Level 89, baby. We make for the lift at the center of this chamber. Come. Yum. It's so strong that they have to hide it in cutscenes, otherwise we would say, hey, that's a little lore breaking. Why is that cat just not destroying everything? Kitty cat is too strong. Epic. As you all know, alongside our physical world exists an ethereal plane, what we refer to as the ethereal sea. At the heart of the star, the physical and ethereal are one and the same. Thus, the deeper we go, the easier it becomes to pass between said planes. We utilize this principle in constructing the anti-tower, and once more here in Thomazane. No sooner did the Forum decide to withdraw from Eorzea than we began work on this facility. Our work culminated in a device that allows us to peer deeper into the ethereal sea than ever before, in search of Hydaelyn's ever fainter echoes. The Aetoscope. And you communicate with her through this device? For a time, yes, but since the 7th Umbral Calamity, it has been rare to hear even a whisper. If you wish to reach her, you must journey closer to the center of the star than we have ever dared, beyond the Aetoscope. The Aetoscope, rather. Even so, I make no guarantee that you will find her, nor of your safety, not so deep in the ethereal sea. We understand, but if we are to deliver this world, we have no choice but to try. I know. I only wish we could do more than observe your progress from afar. The Aetioscope's ocular lens, by which we may peer into the ethereal sea without placing ourselves at hazard, lies above us. Though through it we can watch and guide you. In those swirling depths, there are pockets of ether so dense and turbulent that they can unravel one's soul. If we determine that you are at risk of coming into contact with such a pocket, we will recall you with teleportation magics. To that end, it would be best if one familiar with the composition of your souls remained here to assist in assessing said risk. Otherwise, there is an increased probability that we will extract you too early or too late. Please, allow me. I have thought upon this much, and in truth I do not believe I am fit to join you in the trials ahead. The events at the Tower of Babel drained me, yes, but even before that, your capabilities far outstripped my own. This is no time to have a weak link in our vanguard, no matter how much she may wish it were otherwise. You got other talents. If I assist you in the manner that Master Fortuno has laid out, however, I may still be of use. Will you trust in me to do so? Of course. I can think of none I trust more. Compared to all that effort you put into keeping us alive while our souls were in the first, preventing us from dissolving into ether on a single expedition ought to pose no challenge at all. And even if we did, I expect you would hunt us down and restore us to health somehow. You flatter me, but rest assured that I will be keeping a close eye on all of you. There's one more thing. In those in ages past referred to the ethereal sea as the underworld, our final resting place. In its embrace is memory washed away, leaving only the purity of one's soul, or so we believe. Yet what of these memories? Few think to ask what becomes of them, cast adrift on ethereal tides. Some theorize that they linger for some time, those associated with strong sentiment in particular. In those depths, memories of the departed may even coalesce around you, for hatred or for love. Thus do I caution you to be wary, but also to have faith. Remember those who did gladly extend a hand to you, that they may lift you up once more. Let's go to the Aetioscope. Let's go! Well, since I'm no longer playing healer, let's fuck around and find out if anyone wants to go here. Maybe our enemies are down there, but if we've beaten them once, we can beat them again. Yeah, I hope so too. I'm more concerned about our meeting with Heidelin. We may find our truth, but what if... No, I would rather not think on it. Let us move on. We have always tried to do the right thing, but we have not always been kind nor merciful. I should not be surprised if some few harbored resentment for us as they passed on. We must face these truths and meet them as they come. I now understand why these facilities are so heavily guarded. If it fell into the wrong hands, the wisdom of Heidelin could be dangerous, 'tis true. However, that danger is not compared to what would result should the common folk en masse venture into the ethereal sea unprepared, which they most certainly would, if they thought it would allow them to speak to the dead. Once that secret got out, no rational argument could dissuade people from wanting to see their loved ones, no matter how ephemeral the meeting. That's a good point. If some part of them remains in the ethereal sea, do you think... Forgive me, that's not why we're here. And no matter what happens, she'll always be with us. With Reen, most of all. She'd tell us to live for the here and now, to do what must be done. And we will. I cannot help but think of those who were transformed into beasts. Their ether dissolved into nothingness, their souls forever lost. Yet I dare say Daniel still wanders the ethereal sea, as do ancients who gave rise to Zodiark, setting in motion so many cataclysmic events. If there is a justice or morality at work that governs our fates, I do not know it, nor do I think any man ever will. Heidelin be unwilling or unable to divulge Meteon's location, I shall see our comrades delivered to the moon, one and all. I pray, however, that this eventuality doth not come to pass. While even a sliver of hope remaineth, we must needs fight on. I've seen more than enough death in my time. Friends, enemies, far too many to count. Once, revenge was all I lived for. All that hate, all that anger. What good did it do? None, that's what. Way I see it, there's no point living for the past. It's the present that needs protecting. Man. Oh, let's talk to Kryle as well. I hope to guide you via link pearl while you're inside, but given the density of ether, I'm not sure how the connection will hold. How long the connection will hold. Even if you can't hear me, however, be assured that I am watching over you. Aw, Kryle. I love you. Do a little dance. This one is fun. Oh, hell yeah. You're gonna love this next part then. Like a little jig. I enjoy a little jig. Fancy footwork. Let's do some push-ups while we wait. Just, whoa! I pressed the wrong button. Well, guess we can do sit-ups as well. Come on, you benches. Just need one healer. Twasha is just hyping herself up for this one. In the exact same mentality. Gotta warm those muscles up. Yes, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Wake up, other DPS. Let's go. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Wake up! Wake up, wake up! Yes, finally. ETS code. Very cool. I was like, oh, I'm so glad we have a warrior, but haha, I'm not playing healer anymore, baby. Alright, let's
All
go.
seems in order with the lens, and I trust you can hear me. Those things are pure malcontent, the residue of lives unfulfilled.
Singapore's very well. Double pulls, yep. New rotation, buddy. Give us a speed boost, why don't you? Ilbert! Hello, sir. Oh, he's hard to kill. Wow. Oh, what's this? Tupsimari. In a rush of familiar wisdom, the memory of a principled scion takes form. Yes! Thank you, Papalimo. You cannot take this from me. I will never surrender my devotion, my love. Olivia the Undeterred. Yeah, she is one of the villains from the base game. Next meeting. Let's go, friends. I was gonna say, I'm out of that. She loves me today. She did. My lord, Gaius.
Follow the flow of ether. It will guide you.
Okay.
The ether is too dense. Ah, I'm losing you.
Ugh, look at that. Oh, come on, man. You keep Newman away from me. In a rush of familiar affection, the memory of a valiant Archon takes form. Louis-Sois. That Louis-Sois. Thank you. In a rush of familiar delight, the memory of a kind-hearted knight takes form. Yeah. Thank you, Archifon. taking damage. I am enjoying that self-view. As my life belonged to the Empire, in death I shall serve. Ritathan the Unshakable. Yeah, he is also a boss from the base game. Also one of Gaius's old crew. How crazy is it that this is one of the last dungeons? I will fulfill my duty ere I rest. I must. You will fall to Tartarus. Let me out. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Crumble before it be. Crumbling down, crumbling down. Let me out! My uptime! I love Monk, it's just like, it lights up, I press the button. Oh, Lord von Baelsar, again, I fail you. Whee! We're flying! Someone's helping us. Phileas Spirit! Hello. Thank you for helping us. Bench. Pop. Oh baby, we're at the end. Well, if they start this without me, I'm just gonna watch the whole cutscenes. Fuck them.
Is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
Hello, Fandaniel. Sundered soul among the undying. Hell yes, hell yes.
Many faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far!
Come on, Hermes. Remember, we're the biggest of buddies.
You will persist in this folly no longer.
Ooh.
The stage is set.
Ah. Oh yeah, it's left for him. Left for him.
Let the curtains rise for the main attraction.
Curtain call. That is a move he also did in the Crystal Tower Raid series. A bracing wind leaps from the pages of memory. Look at Shiva! Izel. Thank you.
Ma, what a boorish audience you are!
She saved us. Yeah, in the Crystal Tower Raid series is how you stop that move from wiping you, is that he freezes some people, like turns them into big blocks of ice, and then you have to hide behind that. So that is a callback to that mechanic, which I think is very cool. Come on, funny Daniel, tell me some jokes. You don't stop it right now, I'm wiping all of us. Oh, wait. Pop, 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 pop. Beep. Boom. There we go. Nice.
Lies!
Got him.
All lies! Your dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and lies!
We did it. We did it. We did it. Nice job, guys. There we go. Oh, baby.
My very essence begins to wane. Sweet, sweet agony.
Leave this to her.
Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all.
Have you any memories of Meteon?
How would you know that name? Then it was you. In Elpis. With Emmett Silk. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them. No matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet-Selch adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amarok in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly! But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall, to become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, so precious, why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth, my answer to the question, and yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
don't think I was, man.
The lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Van Damme, still clinging to existence, I see. You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls, as do I. We prisoners to men, watching as the world turns. Though unlike me, you will be spared the ignominy of having your corpse made a puppet, dancing to another's tune.
Who could it be?
Is that Arsahe? How very astute. But let me be clear, I have not come to consort with the likes of you.
Hello, fucker. You want me to beat your ass twice?
Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall and the anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos.
Yeah.
I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance.
Why do you get revenge and...
Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus. Even should you be reborn, your desperate search for answers must start again.
Man. Next time we will find the answer together. Don't know why that gets me so much.
Even here, even now, you have every right to hate me. For the fool I was, for the monster I became. But I will not beg forgiveness. The tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Yeah, he fucked up so bad, but he had good intentions. Absolutely.
Don't try to follow me.
Fuck off.
I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Likewise. I pray we do not meet again.
Elfino says, shut up, bitch.
You had better hope not.
Oh boy.
Come. Heidelin is waiting.
Yeah, she is. Just wondering, how much time do you have today? Just normal amount, or do you think you can go longer? Okay, perfect. Oh, the Mother Crystal.
Brave travelers, I welcome you.
Whoa! Look at that design, baby. We meet again for now.
I see. Thou didst journey unto Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge. I know why you have come, yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
You created the moon to deliver mankind from the final days. But is that really how it has to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all of its shards.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteon, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught. Meteon hath gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
We'll beat her. We'll win. I swear it. Is what I might have said once. After everything I've seen, all the times I've succumbed to my own anger and fear. I can no longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. But are we truly so powerless? That our only choice is to flee?
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Atheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteon reported, every attempt ended in failure. Darkness abideth within every living being, and can never be cast out. Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer. And in suffering, find strength and purpose and hope. As you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream, yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. And thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong. Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light. For duty's sake, thou hast been bound by truths unutterable time and time again. Yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companions will attest. In thy pursuit of mysteries great, all thou believest is brought into question. Undaunted, thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse.
Like a little compliment round after session.
And thou, my champion. When all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on, heads held high. Therein lieth your power, the strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there is a means to confront her.
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy. Hark! Nigh impossible is it to send mortals to the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance. As the will of the star, I ask of you this. Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself? Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return. Prepare yourselves.
Prove ourselves worthy, eh? Sounds straightforward enough.
Aye. No room for confusion there.
In any case, we've come too far to back down now.
I am of the same mind. What power I have, I shall bring to bear.
The three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. It's not every day we battle a divine being of untold power. Well, not quite every day. Do try not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'll be no margin for error.
Let us hold nothing back.
For the people of this world and those beyond the rift.
He's the most powerful of the Scions, after all.
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years. I would hear thy response, warrior of light. shouldst thou emerge victorious.
Yeah. Never got to give her our answer. The Mother Crystal! Here's a fun little thing. This is the only trial in this game that you can do with trust. And I am 100% going to do that. Never in the past, present, or future have I found only happiness. To live is to be ever beset by hardship, great and small. Yet it is in adversity we find the strength to strive for the next moment of peace, and the next, no matter what trials we face. By this strength have the will of the gods been defied and the fortunes of men been forever changed. May it be so again this day. What, surprised to hear me and love mentioned in the same breath? I've not a heart of stone. Even in my darkest hour, there were people I cared for. Mentors, comrades, that mad woman who gave her life for us. Then you and Alphino threw my eyes off a bridge, and I've never known peace since. Your eyes? Are you Nidhogg? If strength is the courage to confront your failings and accept that you are worthy of another chance, to rise from the ashes while the fire still burns, bloodied but unbowed, then my friends have made me strong. Man. Emet called us incomplete, pitiful creatures, he said, and maybe we are. Pain, grief, fear, they walk with us wherever we go. But we prove to him that we deserve to live, and we'll prove it to Hydaelyn, Meteion, to the universe itself if we must. Should we bring our singular talents to bear as one, even gods may fall. Nevertheless, I prithee throw thyself not into peril, lest our curative resources be spent. Pain and despair, aye, we're old friends. I've lost count of the times I've cursed my own powerlessness. But it's the blessed moments in between that I choose to hold in my heart. Memories and possibilities. I fight to keep those things alive. Minfilia and Reen, to say nothing of you lot, I know, would never settle for less. From the ruins of a sundered paradise did she rise, to grant this star new life. As its will, long has she labored to guide her children. Make no mistake, this trial puts to prove Hydaelyn's own faith. Let's go. Oh, baby. Yeah, look at this lineup. The tanks, Graha and Thancred, healers, Alphino and Urianger, of course, and DPS, us, Estinian, Y'shtola, and Alize. Fun little fact, if you're playing as a healer, then Urianger will swap over to a class that he never plays after that, and he'll become a DPS, I think. And I think Graha will also become a DPS. Alright, let's go. And also, a little fun fact. I'm going to follow your wife around because she is the only one that does all of the mechanics correctly. Divine Light, Hydaelyn.
I, the last of my kind, shall test thee. Come, prove thy worth.
Oh shit, yeah, she is at this point the last ancient. Let's go, Thancred, let's go!
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate?
Yeah, and to make it fair to, like, make you not immediately beef it.
A change of arms. May the test continue.
You have a certain amount of stacks.
You underestimate me!
We're still low, where are we going?
You underestimate
The ether's slow, I see it. Yeah, you see? A bunch of people got hit by that. I like that.
Be gone!
Light unyielding.
This will hurt.
I'm following you, baby.
By blade!
I have you now.
Thanks for the card, Orion JPE.
Light unyielding.
I love how both Estinian and Alizé just eat it.
I will not hold back.
It's like, yeah, I'll take that damage. Pocket, right? Yep.
By blade!
And they're also both kind of reckless, so it makes sense.
Crystals of light, to me.
Oh man. Woohoo! That's the one.
Here. The song of creation's end. Feel.
Make ready!
The sorrow at hope's demise. Think.
I will not hold back.
And find your way in the darkness.
Hear, feel, think. Ah. Oh, what? Oh, I ran into the wall. No fucking way do I have to do that again. I ran into the wall!
The strength of will to alter
Oh my god. Didn't know that. I think it fell off. Oops. Oh, whatever.
A change of arms. May the test continue.
Be gone!
We're near or far.
I was in that, but
You
okay.
underestimate me.
Hold still.
And now this.
You cannot stop us!
But yeah, hear, feel, think. It's been about Meteon all this time, baby.
Light unyielding.
I have you! Try and stop!
thing we've heard since the start of A Realm Reborn. And I know that this was not their intention from the very start, but it's still awesome to have them tie it up like that.
By blade!
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Be gone! Make ready!
Light unyielding!
Cheeky hidden.
By blade! I have you now. Crystals of light, to me.
Okay, we're not that far into the fight yet. It's fine. Better to wipe now than to wipe later, you know?
Here. The song of creation's end.
So let's not run into the wall this time.
Feel.
Eidolon's forbidden candy
The
TM.
sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness.
That. No, don't Venn diagram me.
You know.
You underestimate me! Something special for you.
Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back.
Yes!
Then you are resolved. Let's give them a show. Away with you.
But this test is far from over.
With heart and speed. With heart and speed. By crystal's light.
You rat, mage rat!
I will not hold back.
It really is blinding.
Light unyielding.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep, strength of will. Thank God for that.
Something special.
Light me up.
Refulgence eternal.
What the?
You're mine.
You're still help
You
me.
cannot stop us.
Well, that means get in.
We're near or far.
Let me out.
I have you.
This fight is a nightmare for melee DPS.
You underestimate me.
Allow me. We're high or low.
Woohoo! Yep, stay right here. Whoa, baby, let me out.
Be gone! Something special for you.
Yeah, this is only the second time I've done this fight. Help me!
Away with you!
I've really not been doing much Endwalker content. Aside from just the story.
Be gone!
Allow me.
Flood of light. Yeah, there it comes, baby. Oh boy.
Hold still.
Ah! 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 This is scary. Peter just brought me churros. That's so nice of him. Ow.
I will not hold back.
They smell so good, but I have to focus.
You underestimate me.
Whoa! Please.
Be gone!
Get out, get out, get
Light
out!
unyielding.
Alizé! Just a little mirror.
Hold still.
Ah.
I will not hold back.
You cannot stop us.
Obi, Obi, Obi. That ain't hardly anything. Get her. Yes, kill our mom.
By blade.
Kill her. There we go. Yeah, the wave, that's the flood of light. Very cool. Thanks, Mom.
At last, man has the strength to.
Wow. Whoa. We did it. We did it. Okay. Sorry for beating you up, Mom. Here we go. Here we go.
No, this can't be happening.
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
There is one thing I must ask. By sundering the world into 14 shards, the ether of all living beings too was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us to more easily interact with Dynamis. Having seen mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, you wished for us to develop a means to overcome despair. You believed we had the potential, and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled, to deliver us to that swirling maelstrom of Dynamis in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is this not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time.
She did the only thing she could, I think.
And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations, surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loporrits. They will guide you to her.
Though they may be capable of crossing great distances, there is a vast difference between traveling to the moon and the furthermost reaches of the great expanse. And unlike Meteion, we cannot simply soar on waves of Dynamis to our destination.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand.
Of course.
Yes, my child. Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become the embodiment of the planet's will in my place. A faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope. As goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope. I have a gift for thee. Come closer. Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Though I knew failure after failure, by recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift. Thou dost possess the crystal of Azum, yes? As Hydaelyn, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, or it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azum's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over.
12,000 years to finally get our rest. We'll find our way for now.
Of this, I have no doubt. For yours is a light brilliant beyond measure. Long after I have gone, though not even my soul remaineth, my love will be with you forever, my dearest children.
You get a 2-for-1 deal here, baby. Lily was. I have to read now. Oh boy. I'm glad to see you well. Though we could roughly place your souls deep as you went, we could neither see nor hear you. Fluctuations in your ether near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? You mean to say Hydaelyn is... No, there's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry out Hydaelyn's will without delay. We'll find Michion if it's the last thing we do. If you wouldn't mind handing over the crystal, that is. The fancy navigatory one. To the edge of the universe, where congregates the despair of countless stars. You are determined to see this through. We are. Should words fail us, we will fight, to the bitter end. I know that it pains you to accept this, but that I need ask nothing more of you. Yet we have only two means to travel the great expanse, the moon and Charlene's Ark. I am all too aware that without both of them there will be no exodus, but I nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. The Forum's decision will be honored. You have earned the right to use the ship as you see fit, and I could not rescind it even if I wanted to. As it happens, I do not, and would do all in my power to aid your cause. Finally. With that settled, might I suggest you rest a while? Proving oneself to Hydaelyn is never easy, and despite our unparalleled genius, we'll need a day to make the necessary calculations. You may as well take advantage of it. You can chart a course through the sea of stars in a single day. Ye gods! Shall we head above ground for some fresh air then, and perhaps a nap? Oh man. Time for Doche to have a little rest. Aha, I've been expecting you. Oh, hell yeah. Let me look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, a cactuar. Oops. I clicked. Ooh. Love the screenies. Are you experiencing any after effects from your prolonged exposure? Nausea, dizziness, hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, please let me know. I shall add it to our records. Oh my god. Phew. Time for sleepies. She was so tired she just went to bed dressed. It'd be so funny if Xenos just came in and murked us right now.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well. You too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
Now that I see this for the second time, I think that is Hythloday talking to Emmett Selk in the Ethereal Sea, where they both are. It would make sense. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna continue for just a little bit longer, because I don't think we'll be locked into any long cutscenes for the quests that I still want to do. Tushay, I trust you've had a good rest. An envoy of Master Phocianos arrived not long ago with a message. The Loperids have determined Meteon's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rostra. I'll meet you there, along with the others. Oh wait, are we gonna be locked into a long cutscene? Surely it will not be 20 minutes long. Surely. And that image with the arrow pointing at the guy like clueless. Surely it will not be 20 minutes. Come on, binge. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loperids have deduced the whereabouts of Meteon by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Heidelin herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule. But the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess ether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrated our hyperhopper into your ether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Bear in mind this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Loporrit's proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Hydaelyn believed you possessed of the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Hydaelyn's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. That is why we have chosen to place our faith in Hydaelyn, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacius. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Loporrits too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life, an otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Hydaelyn chose us to lead the way to Meteion. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Aetheris until you brought us here, Urianger. And now we're enamored with this place, so what choice do we have but to save it? Plan worked perfectly. Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions, so I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? We'll avert the final days, whatever it takes. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the Hyper Hopper. The Loporrits will coordinate with the Ilsabard contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. It would seem there's naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? Hell yeah, we shall. Baby boy. Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. Nevertheless, Hydaelyn deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteion as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and to Taru. Whoa. If it all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long I started to worry. What did they have to say? The edge of creation, I see. Rest assured everything will remain in order until you return. And you will return. Actually, Dweshe, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldassian Annex, alright? Come with me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Wow. She has something to show us. A little surprise for us. But that little surprise is gonna have to wait until next time. Because I don't have time to do that anymore because it's an extended cutscene, so let's just call this stream for that. Yeah, it's very cute, right? Hold on, let me get that back for you. Whee, whee, whee. Just our little buddy. Little little minion. So, good stream, I think. We're getting close to the end. Oh man. As for next stream, let me just check real quick because I am starting a new job. I don't think I have the Mondays off anymore. Yeah, so, oh yeah, thank you. I'm sure it will. The next time I will be able to stream is going to be on Thursday, so in a week. I could technically do Wednesday, but I don't know how you feel about that. A back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday stream, or just Thursday. Whichever works for you, because I have no time any other day of the week. Either way is fine by me. Sure. Let's do Thursday next week. I will still confirm it to you if that is yeah. And then the week after that I can do a Monday stream again, because then I don't have to work nights. I have to work nights next week, so. But that's fine. That's no problem at all. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed me crying into my mic. Good stream. Oh, good. Yeah, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye.